everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, I'm out on this cold morning to fly some RC planes and I got to get going pretty fast because I'm getting pretty cold. So this one here is by FMS. It's called the Big Beautiful Doll. It's a P51 Mustang. It's really cool, looks awesome in the air, in flight, and it's very inexpensive. Matter of fact, it's super inexpensive because it's discontinued. So if you can find this, I'll put links below. And it does come with landing gear. I take it off so that I can land it flat on the ground, on the grass, or in the snow in the winter, which is perfectly fine. The only thing you have to add to this is your own receiver. I put a cheap little Spectrum receiver in mine and it flies great. All right, the other one here is by E-Flite UMX. This is the A10. This is the latest version. I've been flying this all summer long. It's a blast to fly. It's got two EDF motors, so two jet motors in the back, electronic, and they work quite well. I like them because they're high up, so if I land in the snow, they're kind of up in the air back here, so they don't really get the snow in the intake and destroy my ESC or anything. That's the theory anyway. So I'm gonna go fly these. Now the cool thing about today is if you look behind me, there's a path. I got to walk to where I'm going to fly this. And the plan today is to fly these out where everybody is ice fishing because the river's frozen and I can fly over that and I have a nice view of the sky. The only problem today is A, I have to walk to the location, which is not a lot of fun because it's deep snow. And B, it's kind of windy out here and these planes are kind of small and they're designed to fly in very little wind. So they might bounce around in the air quite a bit, but let's go try it. All right, to fly this, I'm going to use this 1100 milliamp hour 3-cell LiPo battery. I'll bring it close. You can see it in this camera, hopefully. There it is. You can get these off of Amazon really cheap. Now, there is quite a bit of wind, as I mentioned earlier, so I am going to get jostled around. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see the video. I've got my GoPro hat to show you. But, and of course, it would be very cold out today, so brr. Connect the battery. Let it do its thing. Hopefully it's going to do its thing. Sometimes they don't want to do their thing when it's windy out. Oh, it's doing its thing. That's a good sign. I'm just going to plop it down in the snow. This one here, this Mustang, I've got the ESC located up top. So it's, oh geez, now it's doing all sorts of things in the snow. Hang on a sec. So I have the ESC located up top. So when I do belly lands and stuff like that, there's no snow in the ESC. Although, I wouldn't suggest doing lots of belly lands deep into the snow or else it's not going to work very well. So I bet you see a lot of RC plane channels flying in the warm summer, but none flying in the freezing cold Arctic temperatures over frozen ice with people ice fishing. This is probably one of a kind. All right, let's see if everything works here. See if our ailerons work. Yeah, right, left. I can see that they're going up and down. See if our elevator works. Yeah, a little bit of up. And a little bit down, nothing exciting. That's good. And what about our rudder here? At the back? Ooh, tiny little rudder, not much. And of course the motor. That's it. Now you're probably saying, hey, but you have no runway. How are you going to launch it? I'm just going to throw it. Woohoo! The wind isn't blowing down. It's either going to fly or thunder in with this wind. And she's up. Okay, let's bring her back so you can see it. The best way to get it for this camera on my head to see it and bring you the cool images is to bring it really close into the wind. Here, I gotta bring it up, around, away from the trees, and right at my head. Here we go, at my head. Coming at me, can you see it? It's coming right at my head. I gotta go in slow, so it may stall, but there she is. Look at that. Super slow into the wind. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I love this plane. It's such an awesome plane to fly. See, when I go into the wind, I can just slow it right down. Look at that thing. I can't even see where I am. There we are. Oh yeah, going into the wind. But if you go with the wind, she's gonna go like a bat out of hell. Throttle happening now, right at my head. There it goes. There we go. Still gotta go nice and slow, so it looks awesome. And let's bring it this way. And I'm gonna land it into the wind right at my feet. Watch this. Okay, let's bring it down, nose down, so it gets a little speed. Kill the throttle. And look at this, look at it. And then pop up the tail, blink, there we go. Isn't she a beaut? She's a beaut, I tell you. And that's why they call it the Big Beautiful Babe. No, it's big, and that's why they call it the Big Beautiful Doll. I was gonna say the Big Beautiful Babe. Put a little Insta360 Go camera on top. It's gonna add some extra weight. Not sure how it's gonna work, but let's give it a shot here. There we go, bring her down to me.
minutes.
Boink! Next I have the UMX A10. This is an EDF, twin EDF jet. This one here runs on 400 all the way up to 850 milliamp hour 3S LiPo battery. Now, as I put the battery in the plane, let me tell you that the EDFs do make a really funny sound when they operate. So I'm just gonna stick this battery in. It doesn't want to initialize unless it's very, very still out. So I'll have to squeeze the battery in as best I can. It's hard to get this battery in because it wants to Velcro everywhere. Put the cover on. And then what you have to do is, I'm going to try to do it here, So the wind's behind me, I'm going to block it. I'm going to push this against my chest to hold it as still as I can, try not to move, and it should initialize. Oh, this is not good, might be too much wind. She's not initializing. I'll put it down lower, down to the ground. Then she's flat in the snow. I guess I should mention the reason it has to initialize is because of the receiver that's inside. It does come with one, and it connects to Spectrum type radios, and it's designed that it has to initialize so it knows where to put the ailerons and the rudder and the elevator at the back. Make sure everything works. So I can see the ailerons going up and down. What about the elevator? Yeah, little elevator at the back. Sometimes the little cables come out and my elevators and rudders don't work. For example, I have no rudder. Nope, I got nothing for rudder. I got everything else. So it looks like the rudder servo with the cold just says, I'm not working. So I guess this is not designed to fly in the cold. Now, one thing to know, a rudder helps you turn. You can still turn without it, but you can have really big turns. So I'll fly without a rudder. It will still turn because the ailerons will cause it to tip like this, and the nose, with a little bit of less throttle, the nose will come down. That causes it to turn, except I don't have a lot of authority out here, so I don't know. Let's give it a shot. I'll try this. I'll try it. I'll do a big turn out there.
Engine start.
Okay, here we go. Wish me luck flying this with no rudder in the back. All right. And fly with this no rudder, but look at this, I got her. A10 coming in for attack. I'll turn it around just using ailerons. That's it. Seems to work. As long as you control the throttle, you can fly without a rudder. Of course, with a rudder, I'd be a lot more happier and it would look a lot cooler because I could do a lot cooler tricks. I'll speed it up. I'll come into the wind at full speed. Over my head. It's full speed, into the wind. Woohoo!
ESC 9.8 volts.
Can you tell this is one of my favorite little planes to fly? Now you're probably wondering about the price of this plane. Well, it's not $100, it's a bit more. It's under $200, and but that's because the receiver's in it, and it's got a lot of technology to make it small and fly really nice, even though the rudder isn't working, but that's pretty cool. I'm quite impressed that I got it doing what I got it doing with no rudder. Let's go this way.
4 minutes.
Especially with the wind out here. It's pretty windy. Coming into the wind. I'll bring that super low, like down to my kneecaps. Try not to crash it. There you go. Oh, that was close on the snow. Ooh, it does a lot of tail wag without that rudder. It's got no control at all. But it's still flying out here. All right, let's see if I can land it right here, right on my knees. Oh, there we go. Did a little wing tip over. Let's go grab her. Quite impressive, I must admit. Quite impressive. All right, the wind is just howling behind me, blowing everything, so I'm going to give up for today. This was just to come out here and have some fun and show you the things I like to fly in the wintertime, besides drones and helicopters and anything else that flies in the air. I do love RC planes, and I love to just come to different locations and fly RC planes because they're so quiet and they don't bother anybody. The guys out there doing ice fishing, they were more curious about the planes than anything else, but it didn't bother them because they know they're not a drone, because everybody thinks a drone has a camera on it and everybody thinks I spent $2,000 to buy a drone just to film them. Isn't that how it is in life? Anyways, I'm going to put links to these two planes below that are getting blown out of my hands here. Put the links below. You can go check it out and see if either of these planes are great for you. They're all, I call them all seasons planes. You can fly them in the summer or the winter. This one here, it's the first time the rudder has given up on me, but as you can see, I flew it without the rudder. Of course, when I bring it back in the house and warm it up, the rudder is going to work perfectly fine. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. There's a thumb, and I'll catch you in another video with really cool products. Until then, I say bye.